All right, we are trying again. Hopefully the issues have been solved. I will see if I can link this stream. Give me just a sec. And then I will introduce everyone. So we have Professor Curly against Wild Rook on a mountain pass map. We have the Huns disabled. And looking at the wonders, we have the Gerawan Aqueduct and the Heliopolis, and a lot of weak wonders. That's always interesting. They can see 2 land consolidation resources, and I'm not sure if they can see the game. Probably. I think sometimes it feels like you see a bit less than the players as a spectator. Otherwise, you just have this wheat as a growth resource at the start. Both of these players are quite new to me, so it would be very fun to see what they come up with for what strats and what playstyle they have. It's mapped with 6 city sites each, so not that many. You have some horses. This is a good growth site. This as well. And then you have the ore, double ore capital if you want. Oh. And then you have some precious resources and land consolidation in these 4 cities, where probably most of the action will be. So for Professor Curly, we have a schemer, Kush, with the humble trait, opting for the landowners to start. They are playing with a medium timer, so that will hopefully give some pace to the game. Kush is interesting with some of these early weak wonders. I think both Basilikaya and Mahavihara could be good with Kush. You can usually get a lot of civics going on in some of your cities. So he's scouting quite a lot. He has steadfast if he wants, and a quite good general here. Both of these are good if you want to start clearing with that. Buying the orders. Could have used some orders to shop some forests, and also pick motion, assign a general, and or put yourself as a governor here. This way you're kind of wasting some orders. A general, I think that's 1 order. That's 2 more, so you could move at least once. Quite aggressive move, so they could meet very early if both start clearing this camp immediately. Then we'll see how they backtrack or if they scout towards each other. Looking at Wild Rook, seems he's thinking about Tier 1 play. So I wonder what family he wants to do with that, or what nation. Egypt is probably the closest to hand, but you don't have any rivers on this map, so that is one of the main strengths of Egypt that is completely lost. The +40 on farms and river. He has strike or shield bearer. Starting, maybe you can go for Highlander, but it's a bit risky. And he opts for a humble builder, or I guess the humble was the random trait. But that will give him the gold to buy the iron he needs to quickly get that German aqueduct going, and also get any additional builders to get that as fast as possible. So two quite defensive, economic focused nations. And yes, Schemer is the more aggressive of the two. And I think with the Gera one, he will probably have to think about quite early that he needs to have a plan for going on the offensive quite early. It's also interesting that he's moving in a different direction. It's a bit more defensive to try and clear out in your back before going forward. So that is in line with his strategy to go for the Gera one. It's not a very offensive plan early on. But yeah, he's having some trouble to find that starting camp. Let's see if Professor Curly has more luck. Yeah, he found this one. So he's not going for the frontier barbarian site. Let's start with this one. And that's a really nice spot with the marble. Both of them start with stone cutting. And horses could make him interested in one of the more military-oriented families. For Kush, I guess he already has the landowners here. Alright, it's okay, so he found this one. This is a bit tricky because the silver and gold are mineable resources that might make you inclined to go for artisans, but it's also in the front line. So artisans can be a bit tricky to have in the front if your improvements start to get pillaged. And there's no real camp resources, so hunters maybe not that good, and no net as well, so Kush is a bit limited on this map. Meanwhile, this is a great landowner spot with all that sorghum. Could also go riders with the horses. So there's some more options for Egypt. Of course, clerics is also nice with a lot of growth. So this will be quite a smooth expansion for Egypt. Won't need to backtrack. And quite fast pace. Now we're doing the tight turnstile after those 5 turns are up. And hopefully I haven't missed any events. Let me see if everything is working with the stream and the chat. Yeah, so 12 total city sites. Hello, Sophistran Scientific. I'll try to keep an eye out for any questions or comments in the chat. So Egypt started taking trapping. He popped husbandry with the sages. Now he could go for military drill or police. I'm not sure if there's that many land consolidation resources outside the capital that he has scouted yet. It's a few here in the front. I would probably go for a military drill here. He's probably thinking about what family to found. I think landowners or riders both have merit. One nice thing with landowners in the front is they can expand your territory. It decides to go with none of those and takes another Sage's family. That's also interesting. So very science heavy opening without a scholar. This could become a problem because you're gonna have a lot of discontent those turns until you get those seats up. Meanwhile, Professor Curly went with hunters and checking the religion. He has built a shrine immediately. Didn't improve that wheat. Hello, Baldus. We have a Jeroen Akkurat started, and a lot of weak and legendary wonders. Not that many developing or strong. I think Heliopolis is of course always interesting with Kush in the game, but probably more realistic. He's looking at Mahavihara or Yasilikaya, probably maybe the Great Stupa. Of course, pyramids and ziggurat are always good wonders. First ambition, 5 specialist is easy to do with Jeroen, but decides to go for the 500 stone instead. Not sure why. I think that's a mistake. He went for military drill. That's solid, and start that second settler after building another worker. So that's alright. You have one farm up, building another, then maybe move on to the Jornakrak to finish it as soon as possible. Kush could name 3 landmarks, so go for 6 mines, 6 festivals. I think 6 mines maybe, or just get the XP now and wait. 3 landmarks might be a bit iffy, as already explored and named 3, so you might not be sure that you will be able to name 3 more. Yeah, might be wonder spam from both nations. We have a schemer from Kush, so might be having a bit of a more aggressive strategy. Back to Kush, he teched working and now started on aristocracy instead of drama policy and military drill. Finished stone boost in between. So might also be looking for one of those wonders. Right now he's just focusing on the shrines. It's a bit interesting that he's doing it the landowners. Usually when you go for this like mega city with all the shrines, I think you would go for artisans. Back to Egypt. He had an event, I think, for a militia, unless he built... No, I think he only built 1 worker. So could that be from meeting the Danes, probably? So he's sending the militia and the warrior to clear out this second barbarian site, started the warrior in the second city. So both players building a military unit in their second city immediately. And we have the growth and order shrine in the Kush capital. Still hasn't improved the wheat or any of the other resources. Let's go for the camp here. Less orders to move to that tile instead of the wheat. Maybe his back city will be another landowner's city. Can just build this with quarries. But yeah, Egypt will have more military production with this tech path having gone for military drill. Kush with the aristocracy is trying to keep up with science. Healing up his warrior before moving forward towards this second barbarian camp. Gonna take a look here at what they have. So we have diplomat spouse. Just got the first heir. And looking at exploration, I think he has explored all of his 6 sites on his part of the map. Looking at Kush, he hasn't found the one in the back. Actually, yeah, the one in the back and the Danes, I believe, are still hidden. So it's 2 sites that he hasn't found. But you have quite a strong, steadfast hero, Slinger. So should be able to do a lot of damage. And clear quite fast in without that extra militia that Egypt has. I'm liking this pace. I think both players have probably practiced in some hot seat or single player. You can also set up a network game against an AI and turn on a timer. That's a good way to practice. Big mistake from Kush is not declaring war. That's one order every turn. I forget that quite often, but yeah, it's a very easy mistake. You might find the Danes by going this way with the scout. Still hasn't explored. Can't see how much he has. How many resources he has harvested, if he's going for that cognomen or not. But it seems like he's moving his settler towards this other site instead of taking the free one. Egypt might be doing the same. Could be moving up with his warrior now, probably. And he's still building farms, not finishing the Jerwan aqueduct. Not sure in the math there. Someone can probably do it, but I think I like finishing the wonder and then backfilling with the farms when it's done. And just the event for Spice of Pepper, get some happiness and becoming extravagant, or frugal and disappointing one of the oligarchs. So shows the frugal option. Still hasn't assigned his leader anywhere. Might be saving the civics for the law centralization probably coming up, but still some ways to get to developing culture in his capital 16 turns right now, with only the culture from the shrines, the religion coming in. I believe these ones give happiness. I don't think he's been harvesting any culture. No, he's finishing military rule in 1 turn, so that's not a barracks coming up. That is the Jerome aqueduct. So that will be a very nice science boost. You get 5 specialists when all the farms are built. Since it's a stage city, get 1 extra science from each specialist. So that's 10 science from that wonder, as well as a lot of food and growth. Seems like he's also moving his settler forward. So the second city they built is different. Egypt has scouted it. And Bush, Professor Curly, is continuing to build military from that hunter's city. This time it's Slinger. And he has an event to get either propaganda, court scholar, or citizen and some stone. That's really nice. I think I would go for the scholar to be able to tutor the 9-year-old heir. But the stone could also be decent to get one of those early wonders up. So here we have the artisans. There's not any mineable or lumber millable resources until it gets this ebony in place. But it's a quite nice spot to just build a lot of urban improvements. Could go on these flatlands towards the hunter city if you want. And of course, if you have a governor of Delaware, you want to have the quarries together with the mines. So you have some mines up on these hills you could build. Yeah, so this is a bit wasted turn for this worker here. If you had finished the job, you could have started on that farm. Small bit of inefficiency. Also finished that second warrior and started attacking this camp. But Kush is a bit faster with both steadfast and that 5 courage hero. Usually you go philosophy with your first heir, but on this small map could argue for maybe going tactics. With landowners you only have the tactician as generals. I think I wouldn't mind going tactics and planning for a 4 law push with Kush. Could be quite strong if you could pressure this site. But there's a lot of forest which makes it a bit difficult to go on after that. Maybe these sites can be threatened with those 6 strength archers. Alright, a 3rd settler and a worker coming up for Egypt. Aristocracy finished for Kush. The shoemaker event. And centralization is enacted as a law. Going for husbandry instead of administration, labor force, or drama. I like husbandry. You could go for those horses and get some chariots. I think that's a nice plan. And then maybe follow that up with military drill. Not sure you need border boost. Yeah, I think that could be a nice plan as well. We have quite a defensive shrine here. Hunter's Seat, the military training shrine. Could have placed it forward here and grabbed the salt. But yeah, with husbandry you could challenge both Zoroastrianism and Judaism with the shrines and the husbandry resources. Egypt got some stone boost, became inspiring, got some XP and discipline. Yeah, so that's one way to get close to that 500 stone ambition when you have no quarries. As the choice between food boost, drama, police and phalanx. Phalanx is always decent, but on this map I think you're probably not prioritizing it against Kush. Not the best options here. Maybe police is decent. I'm not sure. Drama could also be very good with this high food site with sages. Decided to go for phalanx. I guess it's something you will want sooner or later, and it's a bit, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, prescient, like seeing into the future if Kush decides to go for those chariots. But seems like he has found the Danes. Yeah, he sees that there's an urban tile there, so he's moving up his slinger here to see what's going on over there. And then he hasn't found this last barbarian site with all the sorghum, so we'll have to backtrack for that. think lacking some orders, not being able to use this worker in the capital. Egypt has placed a rider's pin. I think you would have, if you attacked first with that damaged warrior, you could have founded a city on it and then saved it, because then it would be standing on that spot. Then you would need to find some other way to get the horses in position, but yeah, you cannot save that warrior with the scout. That's not how it works. So either clerics or landowners left. This is also a very nice landowner spot with the farms. This could also be landowners or another sages if he wants. But the tricky thing with going too many sages is that might be hurting a bit for generals and military. So Kush has met the Danes and just takes another wisdom, 6 strength scheme now, still not in any city. Could assign herself in the capital now, frugal strict, could be nice. Has he bought orders twice now? This is the 3rd time, so now we can move the settlers moving towards those Danes. Oh, and he's actually married with that hero. I didn't notice that. Coming back to Egypt now. He lost that warrior. And if he stays in the forest, he might get zone of control locked. So he's actually force marching it into the city to fight that barbarian marauder. I wonder if Kush saw that Egypt lost a warrior. Kush is showing us much stronger right now. I guess he lost the militia as well. Yeah, so 2 units lost for Egypt. Has 1 warrior, while Kush has warrior, slinger, and a militia, and another slinger in 1 turn. And 1 other slinger in 4 turns. So yeah, Egypt is building military in almost all cities. Has all the farms up now from the German aqueduct. But is still only about even in science with the 6 wisdom screamer leader by herself, giving almost 10 science, almost the same as all those farmers in that Sages city for Egypt. Got this study event. We can assign a governor or get some XP and become disappointed. A builder, strict builder is really nice. Decides to go for the diplomat instead for some reason. And back to Egypt. Still trying to fight these barbarians, tanking a bit with scout. Has killed at least 1 now. And as these sages work out from his 2nd city, building barracks and worker and settling his free city site now. So that would be his 4th city, while Kush is fighting the Danes for his 4th city and has to back for the free city site and this last barbarian camp. So overall the clearing is going quite well for Kush, a lot better than it is for Egypt. He's managed to not lose any units, retreating with his militia here to heal it. And that military shrine is finished. Settler in 4 turns in this landowner's seat, building that wheat farm. Probably will be able to settle next turn with a force march. I think I had time to move it up a bit earlier. A bit mistimed. Just healing here, waiting for more forces before he tries to take on the Danes. So will this be landowners or sages? I think since it's so far in the back, I think going sages would be a decent choice. Could also go clerics if you want, and then save the landowners for the front. But yeah, 3 sages are quite a lot this early. He goes for clerics, so no landowners. But yeah, clerics, they have a lot of zealots and commanders, so it's more military oriented in the characters than the landowners. But I think landowners probably have an easy time early on to get some miners up, maybe if you have an ore. So I think they would have an earlier peak in military production. I think he also started his first quarry, so trying to work on that ambition. As another one started at the bottom here. So Kush has the second in air. Can choose between different types of study. Clearing out some Danes here. Actually lost the militia now. And will he force march? I think you probably want to settle on this spot here to grab the 2 barley. I don't think the other ones going further in is any use. So might as well do it this turn. Oh, that was artisan worker building a shrine. That's cool. Now coming back for the civic shrine in the artisan spot. So that could be a nice place to build some wonders. Waiting with settler until next turn. So Wild Rook with Egypt also got the shoemaker event, became righteous, and also has the choice of the second line. Became a politics student, and it seems like he'll get those plotting oligarchs event soon. They are not inclined to marry and became lovers. So garrison start now after that barracks is finished. Up to 12 training production now in the capital from the mine and barracks. Building some roads and fighting the barbarians. Has some civics if he wants to sign a governor and some orders. Just a builder in that second sages city could be interesting. I guess he's probably saving. So the princess could become fierce, Delver or pious. Delver could be interesting if he wants to lean into the governor. Oh, he settled another artisan city. I wonder why. I guess there's some good mine spot here. Some hills for that. Or he's trying to get to developing culture. I don't see him prioritizing the laws. Now we had a border boost, police, mill drill, or monasticism. decided to go for border boost. Not sure I would prioritize that. I guess it will grab some resources. The husband also becomes power hungry and could either become Swift or Hickler with a negative trait as well. I'll have to double check what it took. Alright, became Swift and Deceitful, so that's more money that Kush is losing out on. Egypt has a choice of another ambition when the wife became in love with him, so that's even more civics. He has slavery enacted and managed to kill another barbarian. Has some military planned here in the Rider city, as well as in the Sage's seat. The road network planned to connect clerics. Producing 34 stone now, so it's about 7 turns to finish that ambition now. Turn 30 should be doable before the king dies. Of course, he would have already had the 5 specialists ambition done by now with the Joan being finished. Yeah, Cleric Sages does seem quite slow with these few sites, and you're playing against Kush, so you probably won't get Zoroastrianism, and he doesn't know that, but Kush has gone for husbandry as well, so might not get the religions. So with the Danes cleared out, he's moving back to his hunters now to deal with the rebel. They are upset because of a disappointed oligarch. I think that was one of the events. He had an option to not disappoint. But went with that, so that's some orders wasted now, having to go back and deal with this rebel instead of moving on that last city site. What you choose in the events do matter. Egypt will have another warrior in 1 turn. Has taken quite some damage here in this rider's seat. Some extra discontent. Already up to 30 discontent on level 2. But yeah, we're having quite a quick pace here. Oh no! Yeah, the rebel pillaged this shrine as well, and he's not able to kill it, is he? Maybe if he took one of the promotions, could have taken Bears and cleared it. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could have done that. Because you have the -10 from the same family, and then that would make them have equal strength. So that would be 6 damage instead of 5. Building another scout now in the capital, and some workers for the artisans. No worker yet for the hunter, so this artisan work will probably have to come back again and repair that shrine. Egypt finally cleared those barbarians, and will have another slinger in 1 turn, so 3 units to start attacking these Danes. Should be doable with some promotions. Alright, Air got some discipline instead of charisma, and the king got the woodsman's mask, so workers will have a stealth. It's not a force here, so that's nice, but I don't think it's probably doing that many more workers now. I already did like 3 from the capital. Working on an officer right now. So he will be able to push a bit, maybe with some spears. This warrior is full health, has a lot of money, so he could upgrade it. Just as money probably to start another wonder. I guess the cigarette could be nice. Rebellion grows in Kush, the third line. So the second line is out exploring, but it doesn't have rhetoric. But it still got this Dream in the Forest event. But I think that one is nice only when you can get the land consolidation resources. And I wonder if he will take stressed here or take a chance to become slothful. The extra orders could be a bit helpful, but maybe not necessary. He managed most of his units anyway. Still a long ways away from finishing that ambition. Haven't built any mines yet. Started on 1 here in the capital, the ore. Went for another landowners here in the back. So 2 landowners, 2 artisans, 1 hunter. Maybe it will be a third landowners here. Could be a lot of resource production from the landowners fueled into these artisans and hunters in the front. Egypt finished phalanx. Let's see if he upgrades one of the warriors here. Has a choice between administration, navigation, which is marked. Let's see, it's also marked divination. Maybe he's looking at serfdom. That's why he has marked navigation. Could also go for spoked wheel or steel. I think I will go for administration here. Try to work on those laws. But yeah, serfdom is also very nice this early. Need all the orders you can get. Has soon connected both the cleric seat and the rider seat with roads. Oh, and it paid 2 legitimacy to gain 1 wisdom instead of risking to become ill. That event. And his heirs are... the second line is estranged from the oldest. Kush has both second and third line out exploring, or traveling afar as it's called right now. I wonder if Kush will try to go for this forward barbarian site. He seems to be gathering his forces, and Egypt is still showing as weaker. But I think he would need to prioritize labor force after this big border boost, because the logistics to reinforce this forward city will be quite difficult through this scrub forest. Back to Egypt. Looking to finish his stone produce ambition in 2 turns. Got that apprentice officer in Wasset building another barracks. And building another road here from his second stages city. Healing up one of the warriors. I don't think he upgraded the other one last turn. We'll see if he does it this time. He does. And still hasn't started on any other wonders. I wonder what he's saving all his gold for. I think I might have just started buying up some stone already. You don't really know what your opponent is doing. Could do a 6-turn spearman. Waiting until that other barracks is finished to do another officer. So Kush could take another husband or give that match to the daughter instead. And the tactician, yeah, I think either one could work. I think I probably would have taken it on myself, just to maybe spread out leadership a bit between the families and get that bonus right now instead of later. Like from having a spouse. And Professor Curly agrees. Building a trapper now in the landowner's capital here. Not really prioritizing the acolytes for Zoroastrianism. Probably hasn't seen that Egypt went for clerics. If he did, I think he would probably adjust a bit to not give Egypt a chance to grab that. But I guess Egypt doesn't even have divination yet, so yeah, still quite far away. While Rook could go for I mean, he popped husbandry on turn 1 with the sages, so Judaism could be a bit easier to go for. He has at least horses in the rider city. And if you built stonecutter here, we would grab the other horses in the sages. That could be a way to get Judaism. Otherwise, he probably needs to clear those barriers before getting more pasture resources within his borders. Kush is moving forward under division of Egypt, but Egypt is still weaker. But when this second spearman comes out, which might be a third if he upgrades this one as well, not sure it will. Like his force will be enough to both take this Bavarian site and scare off any Egypt forces. 6 urban improvements seems like a decent. Yeah, that's what he goes for. Vision. And it becomes morning. Because the wife died. So now the prince is the oligarch for the sages. And the king became wanton as well. Some barracks started in the rider's seat. 2 barracks. Responding probably to these incoming Kush forces. And working on navigation. Looking quite solid for Egypt. Comparing signs now, they're still even. But yeah, losing those 2 units quite early is very rough. He's ahead on improvements though. I'll have to check that note next turn. Seems like Kush started a quarry, still No more mines started except that one in the capital. Continuing to move forward. 3 tutor missions. It only has 1 tutorable heir and no courtiers. 5 Danes might be also difficult. 5 specialists is probably easiest ambition to go for. With landowners you can probably do that quite easily. And his scouting, with that scout that was finished from the capital, he's going to find this last city site. Yeah, we might have some battle soon if Egypt decides to fight Kush for this barbarian site. The heir became a builder, fierce builder. I think I missed that event or that choice. For the second line in Egypt, the first one line is a zealot, a righteous drunk. The second line can become an orator or a diplomat. Fierce, superstitious, not that nice. But yeah, he seems like he's also looking at that barbarian site. He upgraded another warrior as a slinger, another spearman in 3 turns. Could have our first battle here. The big question is if Kush has a settler. He has one in the far back that's finished in 3 turns, so that will take quite some time until it gets to the front. So we'll probably have a fight here where Kush has to hold the site while Egypt is moving in. We have the second developing city now. The first one was in Egypt. Could get a court merchant or court minister and get those stockpile events, or just get 1 discipline. Marry the daughter into the Danes if he wants. And the second line could become a zealot or brave or continue exploring. Became a zealot and came home. And he went for the stockpile 2000 gold ambition. So right now that will take like 18 turns. Not sure if he will have the time to do that while he's alive. And he will be very careful with how he spends his money. Might be able to just sell a lot of things to get to those 2000 gold, but yeah, that's a tricky ambition I think this early on. Especially now with the drought. Meanwhile, Egypt has tons of gold and food, so I wonder what he will do with that. Could piss off the riders or switch to freedom. Pay off some distant raiders and gain another stat on his leader. So we went for freedom. He has a settler coming out in 2 turns, so they both have settlers coming out from their back city in a couple of turns. Egypt also has this raid from the Danes, so that's a bit of a rough timing. Should be able to clear that quite fast. Place the tactician right in front of that melee marauder. Or like that, works as well. You can see now why he's prioritizing navigation. He really needs those orders with all these workers. It's a smart move. Back to Kush, and he's cleared that site. Could take an opinion hit with the landowners. And I guess he will need to buy some food or deal with tribal raid. Which I don't think he wants to do. None of the options are that nice. But yeah, I have to take a lot of money, like all he has, to buy that food. And he will continue. We'll have to continue buying food the coming turns because of the drought. At least one more turn. But he has found this barren site with that second scout he built. Building a third scout now in that artisan seat, and the settler in that second artisan city. It took the tribal raid. Luckily it came from this point in the map and not over here. So it will take some time for them to go around these mountains. Yeah, they have both expanded quite nicely. Kush has a border boost, so it looks a bit better, but Egypt has nothing to backfill. He's been struggling a bit with expansion, lost 2 units taking this city site. And now Kush is over here. I wonder if Egypt sees this tribal distant raid. He started Schemer and got some extra wisdom, so yeah, that's most of his science. Doesn't have any settler nearby. It'll take quite some time to move it from the back until the front. Started the first apprentice acolyte here in the capital. I don't think there's... No, that's the only acolyte in the game. Egypt has been building an officer. And of course the farmers from the German aqueduct. But Kush needs to figure out how he will clear this barbarian site. I would like to have seen maybe some more military from at least the artisan seat. Metagaming. Alright, so Egypt is not contesting the barbarian side, he's focusing on the Danes. Has some problems with his zealot heir. Could he switch heir or become unpopular? Doesn't have the orders now to take the middle options. Could get a festival or a quarry if he wants to. After the drought, it's luckily only 2 turns for Kush. Any more and he will be in a lot of trouble. I think they're similar now in competence, so they probably both look at this game and feel like they're quite even. Except for Kush being a bit more aggressive with his expansion. So we'll have to see if he can hold that spot, or if Egypt will be able to fight him back. Seems like he switched the heirs, so the fierce superstitious orator is in line now to become the second ruler for Egypt. Kush is taking monasticism instead of labor force or spoked wheel. Not sure I agree with that. Of course, it's nice with polytheism to be able to put your shrines everywhere, but you also need to be able to connect your cities, and you won't have the stone for that. There's like so many things he needs to do. Still hasn't finished his 6 mines ambition. Still has a lot of specialists built. Now he's doing that acolyte in the artisan city, so we'll get Zoroastrianism. And should hopefully be able to save some money now for that stockpile 2000 money ambition. Back to Egypt. He has connected his cities. And I think he could just start building a road up to this site and send some spearmen there. Kush would be in some trouble. That settler is maybe 5 turns away. And I think, was that a force march from Egypt? He has serfed them, so could be. Not wasting any time to get that 5th city up. Yeah, Rook probably watched that Aura match. Looking like he took some inspiration from that. But Professor Curly seems like he won't have any trouble to deal with his raiders. Already sent his beastly husband here. With 5 courage, swift. Yeah, it's quite fast pace, Boulders. Let me know if there's something you want me to focus on. Nice to see some farms coming down for Kush now. They've been struggling a bit with food. But that's... Oh, what happened in the Oro match? Yeah, it was also this map, Mountain Pass game. And Oro played Egypt. Built a lot of roads, connected his cities, went on the offensive. But I think that map had more city sites than this one. I think these ones are a bit more spread out. Not sure. Alright, so now Kush knows that Egypt went for clerics as the 3rd family. And he will get Zoroastrianism. And I think maybe he will try to prioritize finishing those pastures and getting husbandry as well now, when he has seen those clerics. But yeah, divination is still good for Egypt. You can get that pagan religion in those clerics to help out with a bit of opinion. And of course the Egypt shrines are really good. I still think Egypt has some time to contest that site, but he is not really moving to do that. It looks like he's trying to finish off these Danes, and we'll see what he's with us after that. But I think if he would look to contest his site, I would rather see some roads and maybe just leave one of the spearmen here, heal the other one, try to assemble your strike force. But he does have 2 more spearmen coming out soon, so yeah, it's possible. He can of course contest after it's settled, but might be difficult to get there before that settler comes there. Guess it's still at least 3 or 4 more turns. Egypt saged into husbandry, but teched phalanx quite early. Got the tech draw where that was one of the only decent choices. Could go for polish, I think, was one of the other options. It was like food boost, polish, food boost, polish, drama, and phalanx, I think. I think they're still, both are similar and competent. But Egypt has, let's compare the orders. That might be interesting right now. So Egypt is at double the orders of Kush with 2 finished ambitions and that early serfdom. Kush doesn't have any spearmen. That's just militia. Well, I think, Egypt has some nice military production coming out now from at least 2 cities. We have 17 and 14 training, while his other backline cities are coming along quite nicely. No quarries, garrison coming up. A farmer on that barley will expand the borders into the mountain there. Yeah, I would still like him to build up at least one more wonder. I wonder if maybe he's saving for the Buddhas, but that is still quite far away. I don't know. I think I would just go for like the pyramids or ziggurat. Could plop it down here in the cleric's city. Kush doesn't have military drill yet, but he has that military shrine in his hunter's seat, so I think that's his best military production city, but he still hasn't cleared his barren site in the back. So he's a bit divided on 2 fronts now. But yeah, with all those orders, this ford clearing from Kush might have been a bit too ambitious. And Kush went exploring, but not really sure. He's not getting like a super good event, so I guess this one is decent to become bold for some money, but he wants to save his money as well. So that's a bit tough. How's it going with that? Yeah, still some turns away for that settler. But he will have monasticism next turn, so could get some more shrines up if he wants. That could be orders and military production. Back to Egypt, just finished divination. Try to keep an eye out for what shrines he starts. Eliminates the Danes and gets a dog. I don't think he keeps it, just takes the charisma. And I don't think I managed to catch that other event, but his wife has died. I think that's the second dead wife. Tech-wise, you can choose between spoked wheel, steel, coinage, and citizenship. I think I would like spoked wheel here, get some chariots, be able to rout the Kush troops. Nice complement with your melee units, the spears. I think you have horses here in the back that could be connected, maybe with 2 shrines. We have the healer shrine in the cleric seat. Garrison, that's also garrison. That would be the holy site for paganism in 5 turns, because that's an off-family worker. Kush is still similar. Could start another officer in the capital. Has 13 civic production from that king with the charisma. Yeah, so Kush only has 10 and 13 as his best military production. So it's behind Egypt in that way. And they're even in a number of cities now. But he has dealt with this distant tribal raid. Can marry the heir, I think, or is it second in line into the artisans. And a nice opinion boost for both Zoro and Kush. Oh no, he actually decided to disrespect the pagans for some reason. Alright. Maybe didn't feel he had time to read through the event. For Egypt then, the heir could either marry some kind of commoner to get some money and piece of the families, or you could piece off the heir. And I think, yes, so the heir is now disappointed with the king, so no marriage. But now see Egypt building some roads, so yeah, I think he's coming for that city site, but I think he should see a settler now. So that is probably coming down if he force marches next turn. And that is hunter slingers, but they are angry. So yeah, that's a pretty good timing to move in. But this would probably be a hunter's spot then, and that will probably help with the opinion. Feels like he's kind of a turn too slow. Would have liked to have secured that city site before Kush is able to settle it. So now they're upset, but the artisans are angry now instead. Oh, they didn't take the artisan marriage, so yeah, now the artisans are angry instead. This assassination event, not really sure what's best to choose here. It feels like I usually investigate, but then it doesn't really turn out that good for me. But yeah, more military coming out for Kush, but it's all 4 strength. He's taking military drill now. That's good, instead of food boost, drama, or police. Still no 5 strength unit in sight, and I think he's still 2 laws away from having access to his unique unit. Yeah, so we would probably need labor force and rhetoric. They are the closest ones. We'll probably lose one of the militia now. Alright, so Egypt. You see this hunter city with some upset slingers. They're still at truce with each other. I mean, Professor Curly will kick himself after this. That's like 30 orders that he has missed out on. Egypt backed off with one worker, started the ranged experience shrine in the rider's seat. Still working on spoked wheel. But yeah, he waited a bit with the shrines, so the holy city will come in a click, so that's some extra opinion. That's nice. Min-maxing. Oh, and that's cool. He's actually bulldozing this ebony. But I think that will just add a lot of happiness. I wonder if he's aware of that. Maybe he was hoping for culture, I'm not sure. But yeah, happiness is not too bad. Can help a bit with the sages. Could see there's some extra science. They built a quarry in the best granary spot. Oh, the militia survived. And Professor Curly is sending one of his artisan workers forward. Wonder what he will do with that. The husband for Kush dies. Maybe he will marry the artisans now instead. Yeah, alright, so that should hopefully help a little bit with the opinion when the heir takes the throne. A festival being built in that landowner spot. I wonder why. He is struggling with the orders. You can see that with the idle workers. It's 4 idle workers in Kush. I think it's looking better for Wild Rook so far. There's double the amount of improvements. He's behind in one city, but I don't think Kush will be able to hold this. Depends a bit on the tactics, of course. But if you're moving outside of the city and just trying to focus on fighting the units, I think Kush won't be able to hold this. What you don't want to do is just send them in and just hit the city, I think. How many slingers does he have? He has 1 slinger. Would I like to have a bit more ranged. Still no second wonder being built, just holding all that cash. I mean, you have the resources, use them for something. Could have been some extra legitimacy and victory points from having like the Great Stupa or a cigarette or something. He hasn't marked any other texts yet, so I don't know really what he will go for to be able to get those strongholds online, but that seems to be his plan. Ooh, this warrior might be juicy. Does he have... Yeah, I can finish it off. Yeah, I will move in on this warrior, kill it. Because I don't think Kush can kill one of the spearmen in return. And after you moved in and killed that warrior, you can probably do some damage to the other units as well. They are damaged, and I mean, you can also like just... Yeah, you can send one of them in, kill that militia as well. We'll see how Professor Curly responds, because I think this city is not being... he can't hold this city right now. It's too many units coming in. Wow. Waldrock even upgraded one of his builders to a militia to send in. Just builder things, you know. Yeah, I can't keep up with this military production. Oh no, the whole city was in the capital. I didn't count the turns right. So yeah, so the order shrine finished there first. That's nice for the sages. He's struggling a bit with the opinion though, having not having a religion online yet. Is he not? No, why? He's not killing that warrior. He should have sent one behind. Alright. Yes, sending in everything. Doing damage. And Kush can do 8, 5, 5. So yeah, I guess he has enough slingers to kill one unit, but he still has this glove thrower in the back, being annoying. This warrior needs to fall back and heal. I think Kush doesn't really have the orders for it, but I think you wouldn't need to just fall back with everything. Let's see, he has 13 orders. And the leader just died. That's rough. Looks like he's trying to kill this one slinger at least. Or a spearman, I mean. A bit overkill, but looks like he might be able to save that warrior. Let's see, 4, 4, 4. That's 12, and then the slinger. So he can kill that slinger, and then the other spearman can move in and kill that warrior. So what's that? A militia lost for Kush, 1 spearman for Egypt, and now another warrior and slinger should die. And he has another spearman walking in, but he has some cleric rebels. That's annoying. Still showing us similar. Yeah, so he did like I thought he would. Both players having to deal with rebels. You have a artisan rebel as well. Did he finish that scout he was building? Can't see it. Maybe he switched, but yeah, there was a scout being built in Arts and City. Nice. Bonus 180 civics from being blessed. Looking at the army here, it's 5 spearmen, 1 slinger, and 2 militia now. We upgraded another one to deal with the slinger. That's a way to do it. I think I like that. Back to Kush. Military drill finished. They could go for camel archer or steel. Steel looks wonderful, but still has only built 2 mines, I think. So all of the ambitions became legacies, and it's quite far away from finishing, I guess, all of them. It's like halfway there. Professor Curly is giving up the city, retreating. Has a choice of another ambition. He could go for the shrines. I guess he just takes XP. Back to Egypt. I think, yeah, he can chase, kill 1 slinger, and then the other slinger, I think he's zone control box, so he cannot really move in over the others. They can move up over those hills. Even with a forced march, might be a bit difficult. Let's just take the city and call it a day. Maybe kill that worker before we go. But he's smelling blood in the water. He has more orders here, so I think he can clear this out. Looking quite rough for Professor Curly with his Kush. I think he will jump down to... he's already weaker now. Might even become much weaker. But there's a few troops coming out as Slinger next turn. But yet, I wonder if Egypt continues at once. It will need to make a stand here. Might be a bit difficult. Yeah, for sure. Not hesitating. But we have a new leader here as well. I think I missed that. Going for that training. That's good. How's the opinion looking with this orator on the throne? Not helping that much. So I guess the orator is not really doing anything right now. I guess fierce is nice. Plus 5% for against all this infantry. Right, so Kush is going for steel, trying to save his slingers. What he could do is like split them up, so Egypt has to decide like he can't follow all of them, but like you sacrifice one of them. But spooked wheel is done. Still working on that food ambition. Could go for 4 laws or theology. Kill that worker as well. And Slinger. And he's capturing that city. Yes, looking real nice for Egypt now. Building a chariot, some slingers and a spearman. Smelling blood in the water. 15 civics in... Oh yeah, because that's the king. And the stonecutter. Some nephews and nieces. And a son. So the succession is filled up. But I don't think he has exploration, no. Yeah, I think this is looking very good for Egypt. Kush will have some trouble keeping up with both the troops that are already on the field, but also the production and orders that Egypt is putting out right now. Let's take a look at the legitimacy. Since both have died now, Kush is down to 14 against 63 from Egypt. And orders 23 for Egypt, 9 for Kush. Yeah, so this is the problem with schemers. But orders, I think that's 6 times for minus 27. And you haven't finished any ambition. And you have an Egyptian army on your front door. Yeah, he bought orders 6 times for minus 27 legitimacy. We see military coming out in every Kush city as well. But that's slingers and warriors. Repair damage. Now I don't think you need that. It's only 1 health. But yeah, I think you would rather have chariots and spears coming out than warriors. But Egypt is developing his backline a bit with a stonecutter and an apprentice acolyte. I think I would rather go for the miner here, continue with the military production. It's one of your best spots now with the 2 barracks. Could even put this judge there and just rush it out and then continue building military. You have the civics for it. You have really nice chancellor if you want for that extra growth. Yeah, looking very good for Waldrook. Scouting this hunter's seat. Oh, the artisans are furious now. Maybe he noticed that as well. So yeah, you can just leave the militia here and then start marching with all your troops. But I think he's building some roads, working his workers, doing some exploration. Not being in too much of a rush to move forward with his army. Okay, so Kush is, they're not furious anymore at least, they're only angry. But yeah, this is really difficult now with this low legitimacy. You really want to finish these ambitions. Should have used the orders for that instead of moving all of your army forward and fight for this city while you still had this in the back. Only takes like one military upgrade to like having spears. It's not even like you don't really have any bonus except their extra strength. It's not like there were any mounted units, just infantry. I think Axis would have done more with the cleave. Alright, so I could send this spearman back, finish off this slinger, probably a good idea. I think you kind of save the orders, not having to attack with that militia every turn. Maybe it will continue pillaging something. Could just take care of it. Aristocracy being worked instead of administration, drama or steel. Guess that's alright. That will be a third law. Yeah, and Sheriff's coming out as Science said in 3 turns. You have one in the rider's seat. I would have liked some place to get these horses in the back within borders. I guess the border boost from aristocracy will be enough. Also have the horses between these cities here. Back to Kush. This scout is revealed. Would probably need to move it, so it's not gonna die. And yeah, you need to figure out how to get your troops in a defensible position. You'd like a fort ideally, maybe a hare on this hill would be a nice fort to have. You can secure like this area. You want to shop all these woods, but yeah, with 5 orders a turn. Are you fortifying a unit? Yeah, this is very costly. You can't be fortifying a 5 HP warrior when that's like one of your 8 orders per turn. I don't even know if Egypt is going that way. And I think if he saw it, might just kill you anyway. Back to Egypt. The nephew, 4th in line, can become a student. Nice use of the lakes here to connect, but I think you still want the roads to save the movement, at least until you get to the lake that's in borders. And it seems like just move the spearman forward, leaving the slinger back. I guess the militia will be able to take care of it. Two turns away from finishing that food ambition. All this negative discipline hurting the gold. Also not having any money resources online, I think. Yeah, I guess you can just sell some food. Healing up, moving forward. Have some training. Got some decent promotions. Yeah, there's Warden spear here. That could be really nice. Warden or Besieger as well in this one. Forestry could also be alright if you're fighting for the ford. Engineer could help you build a road. I wonder if he's probably moving this way then with the road, kind of forking the two cities. Could build a road on the tundra as well, if he wants to. 3 turns until steel, but yeah, still no metal production. 2 turns away from that money stockpile ambition. Building some Kushite pyramids, building a mine. Kushite pyramids. I'd rather have seen the order shrines being built. Garrison. Back to Egypt. If it's too slow with this, the Axemen will be a lot of trouble. How's the science looking? Still even, but I think Egypt is ahead by quite a lot in improvements. 36 to 14, so that's almost triple. Yeah, Kush is really struggling with orders. I wonder if Egypt is thinking like, man, Kush is having some really fast turns. Seems like he's turning the road down a bit. Maybe he's trying to come in this side instead. Maybe just going forward. But yeah, I think grabbing engineer could double the speed. Or move another worker up. Doing some promotions now. Yeah, it's just being ignored. I'm not sure why. This slinger moved right past it. Maybe this slinger will take notice. Or maybe the chariot that comes out next turn will be able to do a lot of damage on this flat and clear. 5 big orders now for Kush. Recapture 1 city? No, I don't think you can do that. Getting that minor line, that's good. That will be the specialist legacy now, finished as well, so that's 10 legitimacy coming next turn. And how many? Still only 1 mine that's being worked on, so you need to prioritize that. I guess the Kushite pyramids, they are for legitimacy as well, so that is kind of like an order shrine as well. But it's like half, it's 4 legitimacy compared to 7.7 orders. I guess you need some help with the family opinion as well. Not too bad. So this chariot then, 13 damage. Could kill it with a slinger. Some very interesting choices for tech now. Portcullis, composite bow, coinage, or exotic fur. I think portcullis is always interesting. Like when you're trying to go on offensive to keep track of what your opponent is doing, but also for a treachery mission. Guess the science is also nice, but Kush doesn't really have like a big science center. I wanted to see the agents for Egypt. Yeah, you have some pretty decent heroes and 1 schemer. So yeah, I think portcullis would be really interesting. And you also got the bonus cards, which are good when you're like trying to end the game this early. You don't really need to do that, but yeah, that could be a nice way to go. Of course, composite bow. You have a lot of forest you could chop down. might be a little bit tricky with minus 250 gold. But you have a lot of food still. Coinage is fun, but then you're looking at the longer game, looking at building some shopkeepers. Probably looking to get some culture in this city with the silver and gold. Could also just cycle the exotic fur and hope for... yeah, I guess you could just take citizenship if you want. That's not too bad. I think that's the fastest way to your fourth law. You don't have to mess around with waiting for monasticism or cycling administration through the rhetoric. We saw another strike promotion. Yeah, I would like to see that warden instead, I think. Using the timer, thinking about things. But I guess this would have been a spot where you don't really need to use a timer. I guess you've done your military moves. Okay, so he goes for the free exotic fur. Trying to cycle. Guess it might have been a bit of tunnel vision on like you need to get those unique units out. But I guess it's also, it doesn't really see the Kush position. Doesn't really know like how close Kush are to getting high strength units or like how much resources he has. Alright, so the air. Could become something. Let's see, it's landowner's heir, dog owner. Oh, traveling afar. That is not what I would have chosen. You have 3 courtiers, and you can't really control what it becomes, like even less so when it's traveling afar. Like in this position, what's your plan for defending against these incoming Egypt troops? Why is this scout still not hidden or dead? Power graph, let's check. Military score. 530 against 28. So it's not too far until Egypt shows us much stronger, I think. I think it's when it's double the power. So it's right at the edge right now. And the next wave of Kush troops are 3 or 4 turns away. Guess it's kind of the same for Egypt though. You have 2 turns Slinger coming out. Not sure if that is enough. Alright, moving in. Route. Guess that's one way also to change the power graph. This strike 2, 6 courage sellout made a big hit, and then the 3 courage chariot did a follow-up. But now I think you're a bit too far away to continue. I guess you could force march one of these spears. Or you could... yeah, it's not enough. I mean, it's a kill, and I don't think Kush can respond. So that's alright. Okay, so he's going for that Slinger anyway. I think it would have been better to just kill the warrior. Maybe, yeah, I think he should have been able to move there. But yeah, doesn't have orders to get the Slinger in range. So I wonder if it will show on Kush's turn, or we'll have to wait until it's Egypt again to see if it's stronger or much stronger. I'll check the military graph again. So stronger. And yeah, I think it's still the same. We'll have to wait until next turn. Yeah, Fluffy, if you want combat, it has been some combat, I think, for the last 20 turns. Kush actually had this fort city first, but Egypt has made a very strong response here with spears and now also some chariots. Kush did just finish steel, so we'll see if he can do something with that. But yeah, because he upgraded his axemen over here, but the hunters are angry, so he has some trouble with family opinion as well. And yeah, I mean, you could have moved in this slinger in the city. Now it's just gonna be part of a big route here. It feels like a bit. Guess he was playing quite fast. Maybe he's not really feeling the game much anymore. But yeah, this is might be the end. Much weaker, just losing 3 more units. The whole Kush army right now is an axeman, a slinger, 2 slingers, and you have a rebel here and a raider here. And Egypt has, let's see, 6 spearmen, 2 militia, 1 chariot, and 3 slingers. Yeah, I wouldn't blame Kush for wanting to surrender here. It's rough. Like, you will need a lot of time to just deal with his internal politics, and you have an Egypt with German aqueduct in his capital. I think this is some American football lingo or something that I don't understand. Kick-off return. Some sport reference. But yeah, looked really good for Kush, I would say. Like clearing the Dane site here was looking really nice. I think there was a rebel that kind of distracted Professor Curly and kind of made him look at this site like, I'm already here, might as well advance. I think the better play would just have been to take care of these barbarians until you have like better logistics and a better idea of like how to yeah, the military drill made a difference there. Like the production could change things, and the tech as well. It was a nice timing from Wildrook to like upgrade his warriors and kind of, I'm not sure if it was intentional, but the way the production timed to have like a force of 4 spears quite fast. Nice to see this post-game chat. Yeah, I don't think in a duo like this that monastery gamble will be easy to pull off. Yeah, it's a really nice road network from Egypt. And I don't think Kush has labor force. Yeah, I think landowners would have been the better grab this game instead of the clerics. You would have gotten a bit extra gold, build this farmer faster. Maybe the family opinion, I don't think it would matter that much. Yeah, the mismanagement became a trap. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get them on Discord. Just a second, let's see. Let's see if they join me here. Gonna take a look at some stats meanwhile.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Wildrook, I can hear you.
Okay. My audio is coming out of a weird place. Hold on.
All right. I'm gonna...
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, yeah, I just switched to headphones so I don't echo.
Nice. How does it feel? A nice win.
Thanks, it feels good.
Did you?
I kind of messed up my early game slightly, and then I was worried, and then I saw an opportunity to just turn on the military engine.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you
Ah,
certainly timed it right.
hello, Professor Curly.
It wasn't planned.
Hello.
I was thinking if you would go for Phalanx. I had a quite interesting tech choice that turn, but I think just having any 5 strength unit that early is very helpful.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's the only games I've played are free-for-alls, which are very different. I've done practice games against like the AI, but I never really found time to do duels with anyone. So I thought this sort of tech monasteries path might work, especially when I saw that my military seemed so much bigger than yours. And then, lulled into a false sense of security, I decided to go over the top to try and claim that site. And by the time I realized that that was a complete mistake, I was already in the sunk cost fallacy. If I've spent so many orders moving my military up here, I can't just turn it back around and move it back.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before, and it does pay. And I think it's usually worth it to just give up the city.
I was looking like your settler came from the far back city of Sururab. You didn't have any roads in your empire. And I was just watching the slow build-up from Egypt with barracks and officers and spearmen getting out, and like, when will he move in? And managed to get the city settled, but yeah, it was too little to hold it.
It's funny. I was originally trying to go. I was thinking of going for like a more slow build-up game, which I think you were too. I get the impression.
Until it seemed like I'd moved. I kind of knew immediately the shape of the map, so I knew where I was, and I figured that there where all the sites would kind of be. But by the time, just the way I had moved my army around, finding the sites, I was in that middle bit almost first.
Oh, yeah.
That was almost the first one that I took.
Yes, yeah, that's what I figured.
And then I'm like, well, I'm already here. Especially when my scout got across and you weren't there, and I didn't see your military anywhere for a long time.
Because there weren't really any military in Egypt. It was like one warrior at one point.
I had one warrior, yeah. It was really sad.
And so once again, I thought, hey, maybe they're doing the slow build-up thing, kind of like I am, and if I pivot right now and jump across, maybe I can get this and solidify it before you could do anything. And it's like, I can post this in Discord. This was sort of the summary of the entire map. Is when our legitimacy splits right here is about the turn when I realized I could probably surrender this game, because I feel like that's about the time I realized, oh, there's way more here than I thought there would be.
Yeah, because you bought orders with your schemer, I think, 6 times. So you had minus 27 legitimacy from those order buys.
Yes. To be fair, though, the last the last times I did it was, let's try and kill some of them before the game ends.
Yeah.
But yes, this was not... This was my first duel. I'm pretty sure that was very clear. And, I feel like maybe I have a bit more of an idea of how the rhythm goes, but this is very different.
It looked quite solid. As you said, you had that early expansion, and you were much stronger at one point, but it can swing very fast when it's that early in the game.
You also had a nice, because I don't know if you did it on purpose, but you kind of cleared towards me earlier, so you got your military city up like nice on the front lines. like that hunter's seat. Whereas I like I had to delay my military city, which kind of screwed up my timing slightly because I went kind of away from you. Like I cleared the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and then I went out.
Yeah, that was somewhat intentional. That's another like gamble. Is like I knew which way the map end was, and I figured I could always go back for it. Although that is my civilization brain, because now that I've played it out, no, you won't go back for it. You don't have the orders to go back for it.
Usually do it with newly produced units instead.
Yeah, but
yeah, it was really nice to cast and watch this game. Do you have any other thoughts or questions before we end the post-game chat?
I guess if there are any super new players, the thing that I do at the start is scan around the map, and if you can scroll to the edge of the map, if you see it in shadow, or you have a hard border on one of the lines, that's where the map edge is. So that's how I knew which direction to go to be towards them.
Right.
And it didn't work. It didn't work at all, but it was a good idea.
You can also hold down Alt, and it tells you the coordinates too, if you don't see the border.
Yeah, that's a good tip as well. But yeah, it looked really even for a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks for the game, guys, and good luck further in the tournament.
Yep. I'm tanking to get the draft. I'm getting the. I need to get a lottery pick.
Yeah, you'll see who you will get to play next round. Okay, thanks. Goodbye.
All right.